Aloha and welcome. I'm happy to be here today. I am Isla Allgood, and I wanted to talk to you today about fear. I've gotten some inquiries in this past couple of weeks about fear, what to do with fear, how to work through fear, how to deal with fear, and I'm talking about the big fear, not the. I'm talking about the kind of fear that's paralyzing. That's what people are struggling with right now. We're in a very unusual time in history in the world, and it's time for us to transform individually, in our communities, in our families, and globally. We're all connected. So what is fear? Well, fear has value when it comes to being safe, right? If I'm cooking something on the stove and I'm afraid of the fire, or I'm afraid I'm going to get burned the whole time I'm going to do that, it's not going to be, first of all, it's not going to be very fun. And it's going to be debilitating to me. So how can I cope with that? How do we cope with that? Because many of you who may be watching today, you do use a stove and you don't think about, oh my God, I'm going to burn myself. Or maybe you do. But what will shift that is awareness. As you become aware of the heat of the stove, you learn how to navigate it. Maybe you first did that as a child or as a teen, where you were learning how to use the stove to warm up, let's say, soup. Just put that pot on there, you turn that on. You know, take a step back. You know not to let your shirt get, ignited by the fire. Ignited. I like that word. We don't want to get ignited by what is happening in the world. We need to be aware of it, just like we need to be aware of the fact that the stove, the flame, the burner can burn us as well as being able to heat up the food. But we don't want to focus so much on that we're not able to enjoy our process and actually take the step that we need to take to cook that food. So ignite. What is igniting you right now in the world? We have some things going on with a pandemic, with the economy, with jobs, with politics. I mean, there's just a lot happening right now in the world. So we can be aware of it, but we don't need to focus on it. We don't need to focus on the problems. What we need to do is take care of ourselves today. Now, one of the things that I do that helps me is one thing I'll do is I'll go to gratitude. I'll look at what's happening in my life that I can be grateful for. Like, I'm standing here right now talking into this machine. I'm grateful to be able to do this. A couple of years ago, my body was a lot larger, a third larger than it is now. And through an eating program that I found and committed to and will do for the rest of my life, I'm in a body that is healthier, trimmer, stronger. I can go out and exercise. I enjoy exercising because my body enjoys it. When I had a heavy body, it was hard. I play tennis. I couldn't do that. There were so many things I couldn't do. So I'm grateful to be in my body, right here, right now, with what I have. So look for something that you can be grateful for. Can you be grateful? Were you able to get to wake up this morning? Like, that is an accomplishment. To wake up in the morning, open your eyes, here's another day. Here's an opportunity for another experience at life. So look for things that you can be grateful for. Maybe you have a pet and you're like, oh, I love my kitty. I love my pupper. Yeah, that's something. And that takes us out of fear. Now something else I do, and you can write those gratitude things down. It's nice to do that because it kind of brings it into your whole body and energy field in your mind a little stronger, and it stays with you longer. Another thing I like to do, I do this at the end of the year, but I want to say you could do this anytime you want. You could do it right now. Is I pick a few things that I want to change in my life. I want to let go of. Behaviors that I may have. Maybe how other people are treating me. Maybe certain qualities I have. I've been quite the people pleaser in my life. And I would write that on here, people pleasing. I don't want to be a people pleaser. I need to please me first. And then I can be there for other people. But if I'm always giving and doing for someone else, or saying yes when I really mean no, that's not serving my highest good, and it's not serving your highest good if you're giving and doing for other people. So that's just one idea. I also wrote here earlier, wellness, because when my, oh, I'm sorry, totally blew that. All right. Let's stop. Sometimes something I like to do as a tool when I'm dealing with anxiety or fear or panic, concern, like over concern, like it's obsessing my mind, is I will go to, I will write down a couple of things I want to change. I want to get rid of this fear. I want to get rid of this panic. I want to get rid of this anxiety. I write it on a piece of paper. You can either throw it in the fireplace or burn it in a safe, maybe in a pot on the stove. Don't ruin anything to do this, please. And then once it's burnt, it's done. You don't look at it again. You don't think about it again. You're done with it. And just make sure whatever you've burned that you extinguish properly, maybe put some water on it. Be safe. And then, and this is maybe a little more fun, I look at what do I want to bring into my life. Many of us are really good at looking at what we don't want. How about what I do want? One of the things I wrote down is wellness. What does that mean? I want to be well. I want to be healthy in my mind. I want my mind to be healthy, my thinking to be clear, and I want my body to be healthy. Because once I have those two things, once I have that, so many more things are possible. And the fear and the anxiety and the panic gets so much smaller. Because I'm not being chemically impacted by sugar or other unhealthy chemicals in my body. I don't eat processed, I do my best to not eat processed food. I do not eat sugar, I do not eat flour, I do not drink alcohol. It turns to sugar. There are certain things that I just don't do, and by making that decision, my brain is so much clearer. I feel more peace inside. My body is more able to be all it is supposed to be. I'm not going to be an Olympic athlete, but I can function really well in my body now. Wellness is what I want, so I put that down. What's something you want? Do you want financial independence? Do you want to have love in your life? What kind of love do you want in your life? Be specific. You write it down. And you take that, if you want to, you can take that and you can leave it next to your bed or in your someplace where you see it every day, and you can reread it and reread it and reread it. Or one of the things I like to do is I take a beautiful quartz crystal, I write those things down and I wrap them up and I put it in the window and I just leave it, and then I go back. Mine I do once a year. If you're going to do it every day, forget the quartz crystal. Just write it down. Write down the things you want to create in your life. The universe hears what you want. Be clear about what you want. Make sure it's what you want. Focusing on this will take you away from the fears and the anxieties. Something else, another tool that I use is meditation. I meditate every day. That's the plan. That's my commitment to me, is to meditate. Every day I wake up, I brush my teeth, and I come back and I meditate, either in my bed or on a couch, wherever. Are there days I don't meditate? Absolutely. But I gave up meditation for a whole year, many, many years ago, and I noticed a huge difference in my ability to feel centered, to feel peace. It's important. It's very important. Find things that work for you. Some people can't sit for 5 minutes, let alone 20 minutes. Maybe yoga, movement, that kind of slow movement for your body. Maybe Qigong, where you're moving energy. It's kind of a moving meditation for those people who couldn't sit for 20 minutes. There's also many, many, many guided meditations and visualizations on the internet you can find on YouTube. Try it out. You need to have tools in your toolbox. You need to have a toolbox to deal with when fear comes up, when anxiety comes up. And kind of the opposite of fear is love. When I am in my heart and I am thinking about somebody I love and I'm sending them love, there is no fear. There's no place for fear there. That is something else you can do. I like to work with people one-on-one and in groups about this. If that's something that interests you, you can go to my website, islaallgood.com. It'll be at the end of this video. And I wish you well. I wish you peace. And I wish you love. Aloha.